one of the really cool things it has is the lid stays up. This is a really nice thing. I can't tell you how many times I have stood over one of these fridges, holding the door open, plugging around with the other arm. Hi everyone, welcome back to my next video. As you can see, I am sitting here with a fridge, a 12-volt compressor fridge to be exact, and in this case, it is an ICECO. Over the years, and it's been many, many years that I've been on YouTube and been a nomad, I have used and tested many, many dozens of different fridges. I've owned at least a dozen. I tried to count them all up in my head, and I came up with a dozen that I've owned over the years. Fridges have been a source of tremendous joy for me and a source of real sorrow because way too many of those fridges have ended up in the landfill. So I really have a love-hate relationship with them. I can't live without them. I'm not going to be without a fridge. And yet I have not had good luck with finding one that will just last forever. Over the years, I've had the best luck with Danfoss compressors. That's a brand name of compressor. They kind of created the industry. And a while back, they changed their name. Basically, the company just changed its name to SECOP. And I like SECOP, Danfoss, because I've had such good luck. They've been by far the best compressors I've ever tested and used. And so I said, yeah, I would really like to test one because it has a SECOP compressor in it. And they've been the best as far as I know. This is also a dual zone fridge. This is the first dual zone I've ever owned. I've been intrigued by them. And so I was glad to get it. One of the other things that this ICECO offered was they offered this external battery pack. So this is a magnet. As you can see, I can just pull it off and remove it or put it back on. And I like that. I like that a lot. It has a 12-volt cigarette lighter plug, and it has a USB-C and a USB-A. And then it's got a little display here. And one of the things I like the most about it is that it has a solar controller inside. I can plug this thing in and charge it off of a solar panel. Now it's limited, it's only a 100-watt solar panel, but 100 watts, great. That's all this really needs. That was very much a selling point to me, having this magnetic battery that goes along with it. And I'll come back to this and review that for you at the end. So when I got this ICECO and I opened it up, I unboxed it, I took this out, I got to tell you, the very first thing I thought of was, this is superb manufacturing. The quality on this is just truly outstanding. This aluminum case, it's reasonably light. It's surprisingly light for an aluminum case. The buckles are great. The corners, this protection on the corners. Everywhere I look, this is truly superior quality manufacturing. And so right off the bat, it created a lot of really good feelings. And then I plugged it in and it cooled down really quickly. It has an eco mode and a max mode, and it's currently set to max. So of course I have control there, but boy, it cooled down really, really fast and stayed cool. And then when I opened it up and looked at the walls are thick. They're some of the thickest walls I've ever seen on any fridge. It's got a really good high quality foam inside. And it has kept cold. It doesn't run very often. And it is reasonably quiet. That isn't to say it's silent, because it's not. But it is as quiet as any fridge I think I've ever owned. It is quite quiet. I'm sitting on my bed here. This is my little Rouser runaway trailer, and so it's very small. I'm not. This is where my feet would be, and my head's right there. So I'm hearing every noise this thing makes. Doesn't bother me in the least. I've gotten used to sleeping with fridges, but of all the ones I've tested, this is one of the quietest. So everything has just been great with this. It runs off 12 volt or 24 volt. It's used right now. It's running off of an ECOFLOW 2000. So it sips power. It's extremely high quality. It's quiet. It's everything I could want out of a fridge. Again, you're buying a Danfoss SECOP, what is now SECOP. And so it's got a superior compressor in it. The build quality is truly superior. and it's dual zone. And you're going to pay a lot more extra for a dual zone because it actually has two settings, and also because you're getting an extra power control. So it has two actual controls, and you can go back and forth between them and set each one independently. That's what makes it dual zone. If it doesn't have that, it's not dual zone. This has that, and it works just fine. I've set one side as a freezer and the other side as at 30. I set one at 30 and one at 0. Worked perfectly. Went down right there, and it worked really, really, really well. So everything I have asked or hoped for out of this, it has delivered in triplicate. It's just an excellent, excellent unit. I'd highly, highly recommend it. Now, let me talk about the one thing I have learned. Like I said, I've never owned a dual zone. This is 35 quart. If I'm buying a dual zone, I am buying a minimum of a 65 and more likely a 70 and up, because I want two good-sized zones. One of the really cool things it has is the lid stays up. Now, they say it will stay up at a 45 degree, but see, now it's just standing there. It is not touching the back wall. It's just standing here. And if you go down, you'll find about where it will break. Again, it's just standing. This is a really nice thing. I can't tell you how many times I have stood over one of these fridges, holding the door open, plugging around with the other arm. It stays open, and of course, if you get up a little higher, no problem. That will never, never fall. So the fact that it stays open on its own, I think that is a fantastic touch. And that's where the metal hinges come in. And while we've got it open, you can see that this is a fantastic seal around here. Okay, so here you go. This is the dual zones. If you know much about fridges, the compressor on these things are always down here. So the compressor's right in there. Now, either side can be the dual zone. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to mainly want a refrigerator. And so this side's the fridge, and this side's going to be the freezer. I just put an ice tray in here, and you can see that if you wanted some ice and some meat, you can see that would work well. If you wanted to do some ice, some hamburgers, some ice cream, if you didn't have a whole lot that you wanted to freeze, then this works super well, because I've used it as a freezer, and it keeps it frozen no problem. And so if that amount of space is going to be enough for you, then this is perfect. Myself, I'm going to want a bigger one, 75 even. And that's what I'm going to buy. And when I put this in freezer mode, I found the freezer came on maybe 10 times more. Now that's completely unscientific. I don't know how much it was, but it came on a lot more. And so if I'm going to run a unit with that much power, I want a big freezer. That's my thinking. That's my only thinking. The unit itself is fantastic. And so if I were going to buy one, I would buy an ICECO with, 65, 75 quarts with dual doors. So let's look at, while we've got it open, let's look at some of the things I really love about this ICECO. Everything is aluminum on the outside. This is very good plastic. So as you can see, it's about 1 5/8 inches. Very, very thick. It's very impressive. Nice thick wall. Everything, the quality of the hinges are just really superior. These back hinges, these are why they hold so well, and they're actual metal. Big heavy corners at all, top and bottom. Gaskets are so important, and so many of these things just fail and don't give you a good gasket. Okay, so next let's look at this this battery. Like I said, this is a battery pack made by ICECO for this fridge. So there's a piece of metal in here, and the metal banged it here, and so it just attaches just like that and just stays right there. But it works super well. So if you're going to take this to the beach or to go camping, you just throw this thing on here and you got power wherever you go. And you're not having to carry an extra battery in your hand to charge it with. You just put this on here and you are done. And then there's the fact that it has an 8mm, and so you can charge it off of any MC4 So this is what I'm using to charge it off of one of my solar panels. I have folding solar panels, so a 100-watt folding solar panel is very small and portable. And all you have to do is go take your little folding solar panel, set it up, and you've got it charged. It just stays charged the entire time. This is an MC4. Your solar panel should always come with MC4 connectors. And then you can buy these off of Amazon really cheap. So let me show you how that works. This is just a standard 8 millimeter. And so this just charges. I've been charging this battery off of the 100-watt solar panel, and it works just really great. And so with this, you just got your you're charging anywhere and everywhere you go if you just carry a little folding solar panel around with you. I really like this. I plugged this thing in, and it's 250 watt hours, and that's plenty to run a long time. But again, I'm running it mostly off of EcoFlow 2000 watt hour. So let me give you my final conclusions. I love this thing. The quality is superb. I love this. Is going to last forever. The SECOP Danfoss compressor is the best you can buy on the market today, and I think if you're going to spend the money, you might as well get something really, really good, and this is super high quality. If it's me, I'm buying a much bigger one, or I'm just using a separate one totally, having 2 units, using one as a regular standard fridge and the other as a freezer. The unit itself is superb. I can't highly recommend it enough. So I hope this video helped you and make you a truly informed decision for you. What will work for you and what won't. Of course, what works for me isn't necessarily what will work for you. If you've only got a couple $100, then you buy the cheapest unit you can afford and hope it lasts as long as you can. If that's wise, that's what you have to do. If you have a little more money to play with, you can start thinking about a little better unit. So if you got anything out of this video, like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and we'll talk to you on the next video. See you then.